and welcome to another edition of Companions Corners. I'm here with Jenny and I'm Pam, and we are just going to show you everything that has been going on at the animal shelter right now and all the animals that are available and some of the services that are provided. Hi Jenny, it's been a while. What's been going on here?
Well, we've started with another batch of kittens because it's fall, and a lot of times in the fall we get a second batch of kittens, so we will be seeing lots of kittens today, and I know you were fostering again, maybe?
I'm definitely going to be fostering again because my kids cannot wait. Now, I find that really interesting because growing up I always thought kittens were really more of a spring thing. Is that not true?
Yeah, we seem to have like a bunch in the spring and then, kind of tapers off a little bit over the summer and then a whole bunch more in the fall, and we still will have some in the winter too.
Now, where do you get these kittens? Are they feral cats that are around?
A lot of times, or, turned in, pregnant mothers. These batch here, some were feral and then some were just dropped off. We had 3 dropped off at the door, so.
So that's interesting because we do have, and that's another thing I want to talk about here, is they do have a spay and neuter clinic that's available. So these are cats that are in people's homes that they haven't spayed,
right,
and they're getting pregnant.
Yes.
So do you counsel them at that time?
We definitely do. If they bring in the kittens, we say we'll take the kittens if we can spay the mother.
Oh, okay. And are you finding good turnout on that?
Yes, very good. Some people don't want to, but most will.
Most will. Do you think that some of them are just unaware that the spay and neuter clinic is here?
I think so. And then when they find out, it's $85, I'll definitely do it.
Right, because it's very reasonable, and I think even if people can't afford that, there's probably other ways. Do some people give money to go towards that?
Yeah, we do have a fund that we try to help people that can't.
Okay, so don't let money be the reason why you're not getting your animals spayed and neutered, because it really is absolutely amazing to me the number of animals that we spay and neuter here at the clinic, and yet there's still a bunch of animals.
I mean, every 3 weeks they're doing about 30 cats. So it's a lot. You're like, wow, where are they all coming from?
Exactly. That just tells you there's still a big need out there. And so if you have a cat that isn't spayed or a dog that isn't spayed or neutered.
Actually, we just do the
the cats, I'm sorry. So if you have a cat that hasn't been spayed or neutered, definitely call and get involved in this program. And if you are, like me, a big fan of helping to control the pet population, especially the feral pet population, think about contributing some cash, because I'm sure that is always happy to have.
Right.
All right, well, let's take a look at some of the animals that are available for adoption.
Okay, great.
So, who is this little guy?
This is Django, and he was turned in by a young girl who adopted him off the internet. Mm-hmm. He's a hound mix. He's about 1.5 years old, and she wanted to go off to college and couldn't keep him anymore.
Well, and that is something to think about when you're thinking about adopting a pet, is what your life is going to do, because it's not like a short-term thing. It is. No, it's good that she did the responsible thing, and she is working towards finding him a good home. I personally think this is the perfect size of dog.
He's adorable. He has a cute face.
And look how nicely he's sitting, and he's never met us. He's in an area that he's not familiar with. So you said he's about 1.5 years?
Yes. Yeah, he's all neutered and has all his vaccine and is ready to go.
Now, with a dog like this, say you worked, is that going to be, would he be okay at home during the day, or is this better for somebody with kids and
he's got a lot of energy, so he might be better for someone that's around that can take him out a lot. Because he does seem to have a little bit of separation anxiety. He's very happy when he's with people, and he gets a little nervous when he's not.
Well, that's bound to be something that happens, especially with a dog that had a home and now is in a new place.
I mean, we don't know how he'll act in his new home.
Well,
but I always find a tired dog is a happy dog, because if you take them on lots of walks and play with them and exhaust them, then they rest.
Now, how is he with other dogs?
He was fine with the dog that we have here. She's been adopted. She's going home in a couple of days, but we haven't tested him with anyone else. I can test him with Brenna.
So if you have a dog at home and are looking for a companion, because this is a great looking dog, I love him.
Isn't he cute?
You could always bring your dog here and check it out too. You want to call and make an appointment.
Oh yeah, we definitely always have people bring their other pets here to meet, just because it would be a disaster if we went home.
Look at this sweetheart. Okay, well I think you're not going to have any trouble finding a home for this little guy. Well, and as my viewers know, we're now in my favorite rooms, the cat rooms. And who is this lovely that we have wandering around?
This is Calliope. She is about 3 years old. She was abandoned, but she does have an ear tip. So maybe someone thought she was feral, put her in a feral cat colony, but she's definitely not feral. She's very friendly and waiting for a home.
Yeah, I can attest that she's very friendly. I gave her a lot of good pets, and she rubbed up against us. She's a very nice house cat, and such a sweet face. I really have to say, I do love the what are they called? The three
Calicos.
The calicos. I think they are such interesting looking and unique looking cats, and she's a great mixture of slightly long hair, so very soft.
Yeah, she's not super long.
And then we have this regal guy here.
And this is another abandoned cat. His name is Barry. He's about 5 years old. And he's also very friendly.
You think people just dump them, or they abandon them here at the shelter?
He was just on the streets, so we don't know exactly if someone moved away or. Cats sometimes escape from the house and disappear, and no one ever knows. And then someone else finds them and picks. We pick them up and bring them here. But he is a love.
Look at that cat! What a great cat, and such a beautiful gray color. I could see him going very well with your decor. He's a very neutral cat. It looks like a love. And all curled up there, I'm sure if you have a lap that needs a cat, this is the cat for you. Now, all of these cats in here do well with other cats, right? So
he's still in because we just moved him in here. So we like to give them a little chance. They start out in a quarantine room. Then they come in here, and then if it all goes well in here and they're still here, they go over to the cage-free room. This cat in here, we named her Ellie, and I ended up picking her up in the middle of the night. She was in a home here in town and started acting crazy, and the people were afraid.
Oh.
And so I went and picked her up, and it just turned out she had never been spayed, and she was in heat. And she's a couple years old, and so she was getting really frustrated about being inside for so many years, closer to 3 probably.
So, but now she's been spayed.
Yes, we did. I hate to pull them out of their little enclosures, but she's a very petite cat, so she's a nice size to have, I think. I always think the little petite ones that look like kittens are so cute.
I do too, and I love her little nose. I like it when the cats have distinctive markings on their face. It just gives them so much personality. And she does look content and happy now. People do need to be educated when they get an animal at home. They need to understand what's going on and what's expected. But she sounds like she was in a home, and she's now that the one problem that she hadn't been spayed, which we are a big fan of doing, has been resolved, and so she would be a great addition.
Yes, and we tried to have her go back home, but they didn't want her because
they were spooked.
Yeah. So they can go a little crazy.
Well, and I know from growing up, they can get loud and is howly, so I can see how, especially at night, that could have scared somebody, felt like ghosts or something.
But she hasn't scratched or done anything since she's been here.
Well, of course not, because now that you relieved a great deal of frustration.
I'm going to do marmalade before the kitten.
Okay. I always have such a soft spot in my heart for the orange kitties. They're my favorite. They're always been my favorite, and we have always had an orange cat in our lives. So if you don't have one right now and need one, here's a guy right here for you.
Marmalade. He's a little bit older. There he goes.
And it is a lot going on in this room. Don't feel like that he's necessarily a shy cat. We've got a big camera in here and extra people, so that's nothing to worry about.
And then with the dog barking in the background, because now he's like, "Come take me back out." But yeah, if the room is quiet, he will come over and sit, and he's a great cat. And then this little guy here just showed up.
Just showed up?
And so he is not adopted yet. We don't have a name, nothing, so we don't know anything about the kitten.
Okay.
So I won't have you pat him yet. He's been through quarantine, but we're just trying to figure out what's going to happen with him.
Okay. Well, how old do we think he is?
He's young. 6 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
So very young. And only one.
Okay, and only one. All right. Well, that's so there will be a one kitten available sometime soon.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Oh, now.
Yeah.
All right. Now we are in my favorite room, as I say every time. This is such a great room for cats. They get to be free, and they have all these great boxes to be in, and wonderful.
We have the bird feeders outside the windows too, so the cats love to watch the bird feeders.
Oh, I see birds at them right now. Well, shall we just start in this side of the room? Who is this?
Sure, this is Serenade. And she is, as you can see, she's very young. She had some kittens, and she's now been spayed. She's probably about a year old, and she's ready for her home. She has pretty green eyes.
Oh, she does have pretty green eyes. What a beautiful cat.
So you like orange cats. I love gray. I don't know why.
Oh, I love all cats, but we've just all, but I do love orange cats.
Now the kittens, because they just got here yesterday, so I'm not good on all the kittens.
Well, it's fine. We don't have to know what we call them, but this is one beautiful little kitty.
So there's two more
Oh,
in
and there's
there.
two more in there.
And then one more over here.
So you
So
have
they
four
were
kittens.
they were left in the carrier at the door, and so they were spayed yesterday, spayed and neutered, because I'm not sure which ones are boys or girls.
Okay.
And I mean they're really adjusting very well.
So
And, this little kitten is a separate one, and this one was actually in a foster home, and she just brought her back to be adopted. And so it's funny because she was very feral, like super feral.
oh, so was it?
And so she's still a little hissy when you first go up to her, but then she just loves to sit on your lap, and she's great.
Okay, so that was a foster home where they maybe didn't give quite as much handling as.
No, well, she just had her for like a week,
Oh,
and then brought her
okay.
back,
So-
and she's so much better.
Okay, so.
So I mean, it's amazing the difference a foster home can make just a week.
Right.
Having that attention all the time. Because the woman who took her has a couple kids, and she's
Right.
home, and so she just gave her a lot of attention.
Well, and I know that we did that too with two kittens that were feral, and really what you have to do is you really have to grab them and hold them and love on them, and
Kind
so
of force it on them.
force affection on cats, which I have no problem with, and we did that, and it was fun. It's a very rewarding experience, and then I know that the cats that we fostered, those we didn't
they
keep.
can
So,
This is Trixie. She's a year old, and I don't really know the background on her. I did not pick her up.
Okay, well,
she's not a Medfield stray, so.
but she's another great length of hair cat.
And she likes the other cats. She's friendly.
She seems very wide open, has come right up to us. I am always amazed when we come in here with all this equipment and we're shoving things in the cats' faces, the ones that don't run screaming. I mean, they are very...
And they're a good cat.
They're great cats, and that's... I say this over and over again, I'm going to say it again. And Medfield Animal Shelter does such a wonderful job acclimatizing the pets that they get in to be ready for your home. They do such a good job of giving them lots of attention and getting them home ready.
Right.
And I'm a big fan. The last cat in this room today.
This is Willow, and she also had a litter of kittens, and so now she is waiting for her home. Her kittens have all been adopted.
Seems very nice, very mellow. Hey, sweetie.
okay,
I know. I'm
Willow.
just sticking my hands in their face. Don't worry about that. Never seen me before. I'm amazed that she didn't run away. She's very calm.
I always remember doing that one show, and I was like, "Oh, this cat is great," and then the cat bit me right on. It's like, normally she's great. No, and it is stressful when you add a bunch of people, and then the kittens were just put in the room about an hour ago, so there's the new cats in the room.
Well, I know that kittens, just like small children, can get very annoying to the other adults, so I can see why this cat's
She's
up
way
here.
up high.
And we have one other room. We have several other rooms, and one other place that has animals for adoption, but we're not going to go back there today. Jackie, can you tell us a little bit about the animals that are in quarantine right now?
Sure. We have a quarantine room in the back, which we've been to on other shows before, and that's for animals who usually aren't quite ready for adoption. It is an area we put animals in if we're worried they have a cold, which can be contagious, just like for people. Right now, it's being used for a few cats that are special needs. We have a wonderful cat named Triton who came into us from a local Worcester rescue group. We help a lot, and it looks like someone has purposely burned him. His whole back all his skin is sloughing off on his back, and the veterinarian feels like someone has purposely thrown chemicals on top of him.
Can you imagine? That's just awful. I really want to prosecute people like that.
We would like to, and our local veterinarian who saw him actually saw another recent case for another rescue group. And at first I was thinking, no, couldn't be the same thing. It turns out her cat also was rescued from Worcester. So we're going to make sure that Worcester Animal Control is aware that this could be happening in their community, and they'll be on the lookout. Try to, we'll map out where both of these cats are from and keep a special eye on any cats in that area. So though he looks awful and he's going to need about a month of foster care, he is definitely up for adoption. He is a wonderful cat for all he's been through. He's a big, beefy, black and white guy. Loves to be patted, loves to be touched, except in all those sore areas.
Well, that's amazing. So he's not shy around people, even after what's happened to him.
No, he doesn't want to be picked up, but he enjoys being patted and scratched around the face.
Which makes sense. And I'm sure that once that he's healed and has gone to his forever home and gotten comfortable, then I'm sure he'll be like any other cat.
Right.
Oh,
One of our other special needs cats is Maddie, and Maddie was a stray from Attleboro. Some folks were feeding but could not take her in because they were about to move, so they were feeding her until the day they moved. And she's an older cat who is a cat who has thyroid illness, but it should be able to be fixed with medication. And she's a lovely tortoiseshell. We do have a picture of her on our website. Because she's so thin, because this was an uncared for disease, that she looks like she's about 15, but she's probably only about 7.
Oh, okay. Well, and speaking from someone's experience with thyroid disease, I take a very tiny pill every single day and have absolutely nothing, no symptoms of anything else. So,
and she'll gobble it up in food.
She'll gobble it up with food, so not even difficult, because I've certainly had children and pets that are a bit more difficult to give medication to. But, so it sounds like she's very used to it. She can take her medication. How long do the pets normally stay in
quarantine?
their area?
It really is dependent on what's wrong with them. A lot of times it's where animals first start in the shelter before the veterinarians have had a chance to give them an exam, tell us that they're healthy enough to go up for adoption or healthy enough for spay and neuter. So for some cats, like the orange trio you saw in here, they arrived yesterday from an animal control officer. We happen to be running our spay and neuter clinic, which Jenny might have already mentioned, and they did well with their surgery. Everything checked out this morning, so they've joined the cat room. So for them, they were in the queue room barely 12 hours.
All right, so that does make sense. So it doesn't necessarily mean anything. I know there's a lot of quarantines been put around in the news lately, but it doesn't mean that these pets are are all sick. It just means we don't necessarily know what's going on yet with them until we put them in. Now, we have talked about the spay and neuter clinic, but I really would like to talk about it again with Jackie. Now, if I had a pet that isn't spayed or neutered, what would I do?
If you give us a call, we will find you a spot at one of our spay-neuter clinics. We run them at least once a month. They're what we call low cost. You don't have to prove specific need. We don't want people to take advantage of it, but we are here because we want to stop pet overpopulation. So there are no special forms you have to fill out. You don't have to talk to us in confidence. Just tell us, I can't afford a spay-neuter at this time at my local vet. And for $85 for a female, $75 for a male, we will get them spayed and neutered right here at our shelter. A vet comes in to do this, and that includes a rabies and a nail trim, and we have other services we can offer as far as other vaccines and flea treatments.
Okay.
So we make it easy.
Now, I do have one other question. I know I've just recently moved, and at my new house, we have seen a cat that we think is probably feral, wandering around in the woods. Now, if anybody else is like that, what would you suggest you do? Is do you just leave them be, or?
Speaking as somebody who works from a shelter, I say always help.
Always help.
Always help. You might want to start by, if you can grab a photograph of the animal and letting your animal control officer know. Oftentimes, if this is a cat that's become lost. It's disoriented. It's scared. This might be a cat waiting on someone's lost log that they could match up the photograph of your black and white stray as of the black and white stray missing from 3 streets over.
Okay.
We hear that from owners all the time, that they think they see their cat, but the cat won't come to them.
Right.
So call your animal control officer, call your local shelter. I would definitely recommend putting out food and water. Make a little shelter for it. It just could be a lost cat.
Okay. Well, see, these are great and not really difficult things to do either.
No,
So
and we can lend a trap if it turns out to be a cat that can't be caught, that it's just too scared. You know, either your local animal control officer or your local shelter. If you're in our area, it would be us. We can lend a trap. If it's a cat you want to keep, we would offer a free spay-neuter service. And if it's a cat that truly is feral, hopefully they could continue to live where they are. Or if not, we could help find a barn. But if it's a true wildcat born in your neighborhood, that is where they, that's their territory.
Well, and that is something I was thinking about doing because I don't really have a problem with outdoor cats. I mean, I prefer them all to have homes, but if they're doing all right, then I don't have a huge problem with it. The one thing I was wondering about is if they're being aggressive, you definitely recommend trying to get them and getting them spayed or neutered.
Right. That's usually why cats fight outside. It's over territory.
Okay.
Either other cats that are in season that they're hoping to become the chosen mate, or it's often just territory, and certainly house cats have their own territory if they're indoor-outdoor, so that's where the fighting can come from.
Okay.
And this cat that's living outside might also be trying to get onto the porch to get closer to the humans because it's seeking help.
Oh, and that's something to think about as well. So I know I'm gonna go home, and I haven't seen this cat in a while, but I'll definitely put some stuff out. And just because you don't see them doesn't mean they're not there. Now we come to the end of the show where we talk about the things that we need here at the shelter. Is there any pressing needs that you have?
Unfortunately, we're still surrounded by kittens. So kitten food, the canned kitten food, is our most expensive item, right? It has been since maybe April we've been having kittens, or maybe it was a little earlier. So Friskies, we'll put a plug for Friskies. Friskies Fancy Feast turkey kitten food.
Oh, is that their favorites?
That's their favorite.
Okay.
And also Purina dry kitten food is wonderful. It's wonderful. Certainly Wellness makes a great product. Iams makes a great kitten food. So canned cat food would be great.
All right, now just from a question now, would you prefer people to drop by the food, or would you prefer them if they want to do it but they just want to give you a check?
Really, we're happy with either.
You're not turning anything down.
And if people only have a moment, if you go to our Medfield Shelter website, right on the front page, there's a Donate Now button. You can make a donation in a minute.
How easy is that? So we should definitely do that. Now, let's tell them again, what is the URL?
Medfieldshelter.com.
Oh, so easy. Medfieldshelter.com.
You'll get to our beautiful webpage with all the photographs of the animals. And right smack in the middle, it says Donate Now.
Well, there you go. And then the other thing I want to say before we go is I have been loving what you guys are doing on your Facebook page. Let's talk about that just a little bit.
That's all our Vice President, Kim Agricole. I don't know where she finds the time to do the website, to do Twitter, to do all these different social media sites. She must be up until the wee hours of the morning typing and entering the photographs. We ask everyone after they adopt to either please join us on Facebook or send us a photograph, and Kim inputs all of that so everyone can keep up. Especially we've had some famous cases lately with the black stone animals. People are still asking about them. How are they doing? And they're doing fantastically.
Well, and that is good. And I agree. One of the things I really love is I love the pictures of the recently adopted or even not all that recently adopted pets in their new home with their new family. And I love the ongoing news of the shelter too. I really do think the website is wonderful for the donation, and the Facebook is a wonderful thing. You can just like them, and then if they're looking, what I found, one of my favorite things about it that I've seen lately is if there's a missing cat or they've gotten a cat or a dog that they think was somebody's pet, they put it up on Facebook, and then everybody shares it around with their groups because everybody on Facebook has local friends.
Exactly.
And I don't know if it's helped, but maybe it's helped.
It's definitely helped. It's definitely helped. Either people have found their animals or they've joined the search. They'll say, I live 2 streets away from that. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. I'm going to let my friends and family know. And they like each other. And it's really, we're having a very large increase of lost cats the last 2 weeks. It seems like since hunting season has started, the predators are on the move. They're going into neighborhoods they normally don't go. We've had a lot of cats missing who aren't necessarily gone,
Right.
but they might have been scared by a fox or
Right.
a coyote walking through the yard
And run.
and have moved, have now become lost.
Right.
So do please always look for your lost cat. Don't give up after a couple of days and come to the shelter wanting to find a new kitten. Unless you've been told by animal control that your cat has been found,
Right.
or you have evidence yourself, your cat is still out there
Right.
looking, hoping that you find them.
So
Don't
keep
give up.
looking. Don't give
Don't
up.
give
No,
up.
that is true, and you do hear stories about that all the time. But I just think this is a wonderful use of our social media, and I love it. So donate. Come in and adopt. There's all sorts of ways you can help here at our No Kill Shelter here in Medfield that we are so proud of, and I hope you are too. Thanks. Bye.
This program was made possible through the generous support of your Medfield friends and neighbors, folks just like you. And thanks for watching.